This is Laver Arena, and we are less than 24 hours away from the rematch between Devin Haney, the Dream, up against Ferocious George Kambosos Jr. right here at Laver Arena. Hi everybody, Warren Smith along with the former world champion Barry Michael to take you through the official weigh-in this morning. Might be some drama already, Barry, because as we go to where I can tell you that both George Kambosos nor Devin Haney are in the building as we speak. Now, ordinarily, fighters might take the chance to check themselves on the official scales to make sure they are underweight, but at the moment, they're not here at Laver Arena. So hopefully there's no drama like there was last time, because we saw what happened 4 months ago when George Kambosos arrived at the venue only to not make weight the first time around.
That really surprised me with George Kambosos, because that is quite unprofessional. You know, like you'd think you'd be on the weight. He's saying he's on the weight this time. He made it last time, thank God. But let's hope he doesn't have to do, come in over the weight this time.
There was quite a moment off the back of that. Devin Haney was straight into George Kambosos, quite obviously having not made weight. Now, Kambosos consequently made weight inside the 2-hour window that he's allowed if you do fail to make weight the first time around. He did that very comfortably in the end, but this is quite a surprise, because Devin Haney, they've been very thorough, very professional, as you would expect, as the Undisputed Lightweight Champion of the world. It'll be fascinating to see what happens this morning. If either of them get a surprise, then we'll be in for more drama here at Laver Arena. It's quite the surprise that they are not in the house as we speak.
Yes, it sort of surprises me. Perhaps they're going to blame Melbourne traffic, which is horrendous at the moment with all the flooding. But to me, it's unprofessional, and it's also unprofessional to come in over the weight. It did happen to me once, but it's pretty rare that at this level it shouldn't happen.
We'll wait and see what happens when they finally do get here for the weigh-in. Let's talk about the fight itself for the moment, because George Kambosos, fairly submissive in that first fight, didn't bring the fire that we saw against Teofimo Lopez when he won the 3 belts in Madison Square Garden back in November of 2021. He's going to try and bring that fire to this fight with Devin Haney. There's no question about that. I think the world knows that. Devin Haney says if he does that, it plays into his hands even more.
I think I agree with Devin Haney. As I've said before, when you're boxing a counterpuncher, a guy that jabs and moves and throws flurries off, you're making you lead, you're just going to get picked off. If he does the same thing, if he tries to walk up to him and pressure him rather than draw his lead, he'll just get picked off again. So I agree with Haney. If he makes that sort of war, just walking up, throwing punches indiscriminately, he'll be picked off. So what he needs to do is to draw Haney's lead. That's what I think he really needs to do. Make Haney lead. Make Haney come to him. Can Haney fight that sort of fight? Can George fight that sort of fight? It's a big if. But he certainly needs to change things big time.
Yeah, when we spoke to Devin Haney at the official press conference yesterday, I asked him about his defensive capabilities and said, are you one of the best, if not the best, defensive boxer in the world? There's been comparisons in the last week or so to Floyd Mayweather, who was tremendous, perhaps the best defensive boxer of all time, of course. Devin Haney is only 23 years of age. He's now 28-0. Who knows what he can achieve? He might be one of the best we've ever seen.
Yeah, look, that's a really good point, because he is he's got beautiful hand speed, his defence is impeccable, and there is certainly shades of Floyd Mayweather in Devin Haney, and for me, I commentated Floyd Mayweather in the '96 Atlanta Olympics, and I declared he was the best. It was the last fight he ever lost. I declared he was the greatest fighter I saw there, and he's gone on to prove it. Now, this guy, if he makes a statement today, perhaps he'll be on his way to being called another Floyd Mayweather Jr.
Could well be. Quite the scene yesterday with the Haney camp, quite vocal, a real turnaround from what we saw in the build-up to fight number 1. George Kambosos there and his father Jim Kambosos having nothing to say at all, just listening to the quite verbose Bill Haney there, who had a lot to say, produced The Art of War by Sun Tzu and offered that to the Kambosos camp in the press conference as well. So what a massive turnaround and a change. They've had a change of trainer, Chris Backus, who looked after George Kambosos for much of his career before linking with Javier Centel. Javier Centel is no longer part of the camp, his trainer. Likewise, a change in management as well. We'll see if it works for George Kambosos tomorrow.
As I said, it's going to go one way or the other. It could be beneficial. It might be negative. So I reckon we'll know after the first 2 rounds the pattern of the fight.
Well, I can see some blue hoodies there. Looks like Team Kambosos with their G'd up sponsorship, newly acquired for George Kambosos is in the house, so that's good news. George Kambosos is here. Let's get this official weigh-in underway. A stacked undercard as well, featuring the Team Maloney brothers, Andrew and Jason, two stars of the Australian boxing scene. We'll throw it over right now to Lieutenant Dan Hennessy.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to Rod Laver Arena here in beautiful downtown Melbourne, Australia for the Unified World Championship Lightweight title. Here today, we're going to weigh in all of our fighters. I'd like to bring Simone Bailey up now. She is our commissioner from the Professional Boxing and Combat Sports Board of Victoria. We have our lovely ring girls up here as well. That is fantastic. We have Frank Hadley from the WBC. IBF is Ben Keelty, WBO is Danny Lee, the WBA is Robert Mack, and the WBC Alberto Leon. Tickets are still available for this event through Ticketek, so make sure you grab a ticket if you haven't already. We'd like to thank TAB, we'd like to thank the Victorian government, especially the Victorian government in Melbourne. You've been so accommodating for this world-class event. I can't begin to tell you how much we appreciate your help. We'd also like to thank Top Rank, DiBella Entertainment, Devin Haney Promotions, Ferocious Promotions, and of course their tireless promotional partners, TEG Sports here in Australia, and of course Duco Events in New Zealand. Okay, let's bring up, now it's not going to be the same order here today in the weigh-in as we're going to have here tomorrow, so let's just bear with it and get on through these weights. Please make some noise for your favorite fighters as they come on up. First fight here, we're going to weigh in at 6'3" at cruiserweight. It's brought to you by TAB. Fighting out of the blue corner of the night, this is Titi Motusaga.
TT Motusaga is a 31-year-old former kickboxer who made his professional boxing debut in April last year. He trains out of the famed City Kickboxing Gym in Auckland under Doug Viney, and is also a stablemate of the impressive Hemi Ahio, who we'll see on the undercard tomorrow as well when he takes on Django Opolu. This is Titi Motusaga.
And we will do the weights in pounds today. And we will do kilos and pounds tomorrow during the event. $196.98, that is in pounds for TT Motusaga.
It is 6 3-minute rounds.
And he will be fighting Hamilton's best. This is really the fight of the Kiwis here, ladies and gentlemen. He's a two-time gold medalist in the Commonwealth Games and a bronze in the 2020 Summer Olympics. Would you please put your hands together for David Naika.
A glittering amateur career, of course, the two-time Commonwealth Games medalist, trained by Noel Thornbury out of the Gold Coast, and has spent time as a sparring partner with former world heavyweight champion Tyson Fury, the Gypsy King, no less.
$199.73 for David Nika.
Looking as fit as ever, we will face off TT and David, if you could, gentlemen, in front of the scales there.
Brought to you by TAB, our promotion, our betting partners in this huge event here tomorrow.
One of the big fights we'll see on the 9-fight card right here at Rod Laver Arena tomorrow. That is David Naika against Titi Motusaga.
All right, moving right along here. Our next bout to weigh in is scheduled for 8 threes. It's brought to you by DiBella Entertainment. Would you please welcome to the stage, this is Fega Opolu.
Django Opolu is a former Australian heavyweight champion, having taken that belt in a victory over Chris Terzievsky. He's coming off a loss to Lucas Brown, who put his name back up in lights. The stunning knockout of Junior Farr at Marvel Stadium back on June 5.
223.87 for Django Opalou.
Just over 100 kilograms in the current money.
Now he'll be fighting another Kiwi here, 19-0. I do believe he is an undefeated professional fighter. He's out of that CKB boxing, that gym that took over the UFC, so he's boxing out of them. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Haney the Heat Ahio.
As you mentioned, Dan trains out of the City Kickboxing Gym in Auckland, alongside Israel Adesanya, the UFC star, among plenty of others. And was part of the Haney-Kambosos build-up in June as well. The first round stoppage against Christian Soy, who couldn't continue at the end of round 1 through an arm injury. This is Haney Ahio.
Shot through the heart and pray on my downfall. But Yeti prevailed on my outlaw. Stand on top of the table like John Wall. Got the cross on my chest like Olympic gold. Rapids move on the floor like a jazz song. Witness greatness, look up and look home. Remember next time.
243.39 for Haney the Heat Ahio.
Just over 110 kilograms. We'll face it off, gentlemen, if you could. Django and Haney.
Once again, brought to you by DiBella Entertainment. This is going to be a big one. Circle this fight on the fight card tomorrow.
Scheduled for 8 rounds. It probably doesn't go that far. Ahio versus Opalou. You'll see it tomorrow right here on the undercards of Kambosos and Haney.
All right, and as Lou DiBella had talked about yesterday, the Victorian government really wanted to step up and support a women's fight. This female fight is for a world championship here tomorrow. It's scheduled for 10 2-minute rounds. The professional female junior featherweight boxing. It's for the IBF female world junior featherweight title. And again, thank you so much to the Victorian government for getting behind the female fighters of Australia. Introducing first, she'll be fighting out of the blue corner of the night. Here is Susie Ramadan.
Former 2-time world champion Susie Ramadan has a chance to make it a 3rd world title when she takes on defending IBF junior featherweight champion Shanika Johnson in the first of 2 world titles here at Laver Arena tomorrow.
$119.38 for Susie Ramadan.
Comfortably under the 122-pound limit. Susie, we might have a quick chat while you're on stage here. We spoke yesterday at the press conference. How are the nerves 24 hours out from the big fight?
Well, after having so many fights, I think the nerves are pretty good, you know, just ready to go.
We spoke about sparring Shanika in the past. It's going to be fascinating to see what happens down the track now at the back end of your career.
Yeah, she said 4 years ago, which was a bit of a lie. I mean, last time I sparred her was 2020. We asked her for sparring 2 months ago, but she declined. So, you know, but it's going to be exciting tomorrow night, that's for sure. Tomorrow day, sorry, that's for sure.
There is no question. You get to do it for real right here at Laver Arena. Susie Ramadan in action against Haney-George.
All right, and her opponent making her way up to the scale now, ladies and gentlemen. Here is Haney-George.
Janika took the IBF Junior Featherweight title with a victory over Melissa Esquivel here in Melbourne in April. And the only loss of her career came against shotgun Shannon O'Connell, who will fight Ebony Bridges for the IBF World Bantamweight title in December.
£121.03 for Haney-George.
Both fighters comfortably under the 122-pound limits. I'll let you throw the trucky dacks back on, Janika, and have a quick chat. As we said, the first of two world title fights we'll see here tomorrow at Laver Arena. Janika, great to see you once again. How are you feeling so close to the fight now?
Very good, thank you. It's going to be a rip of a fight, and I'm excited to be on this card and, you know, showcase women's boxing.
This is a massive chance to get this opportunity to fight for a world title on such a high-profile occasion, isn't it?
Very, and it's exciting to see women's boxing grow, and, you know, I'm excited to showcase my skills and defend my title.
You certainly have plenty of skills. Can't wait to see those tomorrow. That's Haney-George taking on Susie Ramadan for that world title here at Laver Arena. Ladies, we'll face you off at the front of the scales here. So many tremendous Australian female fighters in action around the world in recent times, and this will be an absolute beauty here tomorrow as part of our big 9-fight card, as we build it up to Devin Haney and the rematch with Haney-Kambosos Jr. That's Haney-George, the defending champion, taking on Susie Ramadan.
And once again, special thanks goes out to the Victoria government for that one. Coming up next here, ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 10 3-minute rounds of Professional World Championship Junior Bantamweight boxing action. It is for the vacant IBF Junior Bantamweight World title. Introducing first, making his way to the scales, this is Norberto Jimenez.
From the Dominican Republic, Norberto is ranked in the top 10 by 3 of the 4 governing bodies, with the vacant WBO International Junior Bantamweight title on the line in this fight. He's fought twice for world titles, has lost just the once in the last 11 years from his last 35 fights. This is Norberto Jimenez.
We got Danny Lee here from the WBO supervising this event. £114.97 for Norberto Jimenez.
Just inside the 115-pound limit. No problems there for Norberto. Alberto Leon from the WBC joins us as an interpreter. Norberto, you're looking in tremendous physical shape. How confident are you of taking a victory tomorrow?
Primeramente, gracias a Dios por todo. Me preparé para llevarme la victoria y vine a derrotar a Andrews Moloney en su propia casa.
He says, first of all, thanks to God for everything He's given me, and I prepared very, very well to come beat Andrew Moloney at his home house.
We will see how it pans out. We'll meet your challenger in a moment. That is Norberto Jimenez here to take on Andrew Moloney.
And that will bring him to the scale next, ladies and gentlemen. He is constantly fighting on these gigantic shows here in Australia. Give it up for the one and only Andrew Moloney.
4 months ago, this man put on a spectacular display and he stopped Alexander Espinosa in just 2 rounds at Marvel Stadium on the undercard of Kambosos Haney, the former world champion, was part of the controversial second fight no decision trilogy against Joshua Franco in the United States, but perhaps is just one fight away from getting another shot at a world title.
$114.75 for Andrew Maloney.
Andrew Maloney makes weight and is good to go for his bout tomorrow. Such an important one in his career against Roberto Jimenez. And we're going to have a quick chat, mate, after you have a drink. Great to see you. Like Roberto, you're looking in tremendous physical shape. How tough was it to make weight this time around? Any trouble?
Nah, never trouble. I'm a true professional. I'm never out of camp, always ready. That's our statement. Team Maloney, always ready. And I'm going to earn myself a shot at the world title after this fight. I'm going to grab that and bring it back here to Australia.
You put on an amazing show last time around. Can we see something similar tomorrow?
Absolutely. The plan is to steal the show. Make sure you don't miss it.
That is Andrew the Monster Maloney taking on Roberto Jimenez for that vacant IBO International title. We will face you fellas off. Roberto, if you could, and also Andrew at the front of stage.
Another fight to circle here on the events tomorrow. Brought to you by our betting partners, TAB. All right, thank you, boys. We'll see you tomorrow. Or not.
Andrew Maloney and Roberto Jimenez. We'll see a bit more of that intensity in the ring, no doubt, tomorrow. Lieutenant Dan.
Well, I think we need a little bit more Maloney, so let's give it. It's 12 3-minute rounds of professional bantamweight boxing action. It is a WBC World Title Eliminator. It's brought to you by TAB, ladies and gentlemen. This is Nawafon Kaikatha.
Nawafon from Thailand has had 57 professional fights. This will be the first time that he's fought outside of Thailand. Of his 56 wins, 46 of them have come via knockout, with such an impressive ratio no matter where you fought. 56-1 is Nawafon Orangvisa.
Living good, I've been blessed. Shout out all my enemies, all the best. You can set me free, don't give me death, man. I'm on my way. I'm on my way. I'm on my way. And I can do this all day, man. I'm on my way. I'm on my way.
117.39 for Nawafon Kaikatha.
Under the 118-pound limit. Nawafon, your knockout record is so impressive, but as we said yesterday, this is the first time you fought outside of your home country. What are you expecting fighting in a hostile environment for the first time?
So I'm very excited. I've never been in this environment before. Very excited.
Can't wait to see him in action up against Jason Maloney, who is up next on the scales. That is Nawafon Orangvisa.
All right, his opponent, one of the Maloney twins, ladies and gentlemen, again, always on the big shows here in Australia. Would you please put your hands together? Here is Jason Mayhem Maloney.
And like his brother Andrew, Jason was one of the real stars on June 5 at Marvel Stadium when he and Andrew stole the show. He put on an incredible display against Aston Palikte, knocking him down twice and stopping him at the end of 3 rounds. He's fought twice, 4 world titles in the past. It could be a case of third time lucky for Jason Maloney in what is a world title eliminator.
$117.83 for Jason Maloney.
Jason Maloney makes weight comfortably also. And in the prime of his boxing career, ready to face a highly ranked opponent. They are number 1 and number 2 in the WBC rankings, this world title eliminator. Jace, you look in tremendous shape. Skin looks good, no stress. You look as comfortable as ever.
Ready to go, mate. This is it. The final hurdle before I become world champion. I'm ready to go.
This is essentially for a world title, given that Naoya Inoue is likely to step out of the division and move up in the rankings. So this could well be for what will become a world title.
100%, and that's how I've prepared for the hardest fight of my life, and I've left no stone unturned, and this will be a great performance tomorrow.
Big show for the Melbourne fans.
You bet it.
Jason Maloney taking on Haney-Kambosos Rungvisai. You'll see Mayhem Maloney in action tomorrow, gentlemen. If we could face you off for the cameras. It is such an impressive card. We are bringing to you, of course, on air from 9 a.m. tomorrow morning on Fox Sports and then through main events. Haney-Kambosos Rungvisai up against Jason Maloney. Top 2 ranked fighters below the champion in their division in the WBC. Okay, that clears the path for the main event. 2 men who've been there and done it before on June 5. We have the rematch coming your way tomorrow, of course. We have the officials from the various bodies joining us here with all 4 belts going on the line tomorrow. Lieutenant Dan, the introductions are all yours.
All right, here we go. It's 12 3-minute rounds of Professional World Championship lightweight boxing action. It is for the WBC, WBO, and IBF World Lightweight titles and the WBA Super World Lightweight titles collectively. This is the Unified Lightweight Championship of the world. It is brought to you by the Victorian government. Once again, they step up. Thanks so much again to the Victorian government. Introducing first, the challenger. This is George Ferocious Kambosos Jr.
The man who proved the critics wrong when he took down Teofimo Lopez in Madison Square Garden in November 2021 to claim 3 of the 4 major belts, and is looking to win the title of the Undisputed Lightweight Champion of the world.
134.04 for Kambosos Jr.
Second time's a charm. There'll be no weigh-in dramas here at Rod Laver Arena today after the drama of June 4. Comfortably under the 135-pound limit is George Kambosos Jr. as he prepares to take on, in 24 hours' time, the undefeated and undisputed champion of the lightweight division in Devin Haney. A quick drink for George, and we'll have a brief chat ahead of tomorrow. It was never in doubt. No drama this time with the weigh-in.
No doubt. We put in the work, and that's a statement right there. We'll make a statement tomorrow.
You have been quiet, no doubt. The camp has been quiet in the build-up to this fight, but I get the impression you are ready for something special here at Rod Laver Arena tomorrow.
Mate, I'm ripped and ready. You know, I haven't shown too much in this camp, but we're going to show it all tomorrow. We are ready, and whatever he brings ain't enough.
You do know what Devin Haney brings to the table. That's a tremendous defensive technique. How do you break it down?
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see tomorrow what he does and what I bring. The world will see.
He is ready, George Kambosos Jr., weighing in under 135 pounds.
All right, and his opponent, ladies and gentlemen, he is the unified lightweight champion of the world. This is Devin the Dream Haney. Once again, special thanks goes out to the Victoria government for putting this gigantic show on.
Originally from Oakland, California, now fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada. At 23 years of age, Devin Haney is 28-0 and unified the lightweight division with his unanimous decision on June 5, just up the road here in Melbourne at Marvel Stadium. Trained by his father and manager Bill Haney.
$134.81 for the champion, Devin Haney.
We have a match. Devin Haney makes weight. George Kambosos makes weight. And the Undisputed Lightweight Championship of the world goes on the line here tomorrow. Devin Haney, just the 8th man in the 4-belt era to become an undisputed champion of the world. But that crown goes on the line when he once again takes on George Kambosos Jr. here at Rod Laver Arena, this venue of champions. And we will see two champions in the ring here tomorrow. What an occasion it will be. There is nothing like a world title fight, especially when you have all 4 belts up for grabs. And that's what we have tomorrow. The Australian up against the American. With so much support for the home man. Devin, before we face it off, well, we'll face it off and then have a chat to Devin.
Once again, brought to you by the Victorian government.
Devin. Okay. An early start to proceedings, it would seem. We will have a chat to Devin with all 4 belts before you disappear. That'd be fantastic if we could, Devin. Alberto. The build-up has been fairly subdued up until the last 24 hours, but there has been an obvious increase in intensity over the last 24 hours, given what we saw at the press conference. If we could have everybody sitting down there in the middle of the stage. If you could please sit down there in the middle of the room so we could bring these pictures around the world via ESPN Plus, of course, in the United States, Sky Sports in the UK, and right here via Fox Sports in Australia as well. Devin, I guess you weren't expecting things to break out as quickly as they did.
I mean, we got to fight. We're going to get it all tomorrow, and may the best man win.
Are you ready for whatever George Kambosos brings? He's promised a different style. Are you ready for whatever he brings to the ring tomorrow?
Of course.
There is Devin Haney, the Dream, and the Undisputed Lightweight Champion of the world. Making his way out of the arena, of course, you'll see them both here. Their ring walk will commence at 1:40 p.m. local time here in Melbourne, Australia, tomorrow as part of that 9-fight card. Things have really ramped up in the last 24 hours. And, well, that was quite something. I wasn't expecting that after things were so subdued between these two fighters earlier in the week, Barry.
Yeah, look, it certainly got a bit heated there, Warren, and, you know, you don't really like seeing that. You like to see these guys show a bit of respect for each other, which I know they've got, but it certainly nearly got out of hand there, didn't it?
Yeah, a couple of people jumping onto the stage who had no right to be there. I guess George Kambosos escalated things by trying to put himself in front of Devin Haney. I'm sure that's part of trying to take him out of his comfort zone. It got to